You are knowing what you are wanting.
Yes.
Esther has crossed electricity off her list. Still wanting it today, but not as much as yesterday. You are knowing what you are wanting. You are enjoying your expanding desire.
Yes.
Really? You are enjoying desire even before it manifests. You like the feeling of wanting something. What we've noticed about you is that you do like the feeling of wanting something, but you very much do not like the feeling of wanting something that you don't think you're going to get. And so we think that most of our physical friends are confused about how they really feel about wanting something, because unfulfilled desires have been sort of beating you up for a while, or at least it's the way it feels to you. If you don't let yourself want anything, then when it doesn't seem to be happening in the way you would like it to, it is not so troubling. But when you let yourself really want something, and it feels to you that you cannot achieve it, at least not on the timeline that you are wanting, then you are not enjoying yourself as much as we would like you to. Here is what we know that you know, knew, that you may have temporarily forgotten. And that is, there is nothing that you desire that is not coming. Nothing. It's not a question of if it will come. It will. It must. It is law. There is nothing in this universe that keeps anything that you want away from you, except your contradictory energy. In other words, there are no circumstances, there are no powers that be, there are no governmental organizations, there are no adversaries. There is nothing in this universe that keeps anything that you desire from you. It is only the energy that you are offering that equals when what you want comes. It isn't that it isn't coming. It is only that you haven't let it in yet. Now, if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would not be too worried about the timing of manifestation. In other words, our attitude would be, this thing that I desire is coming to me, and it is coming in its perfect timing. And we would not try too hard to be the orchestrator of the timing. Some of you say, but what about setting goals? Is not setting a goal a good thing? And we say, setting a goal is a good thing because it causes you to focus. But if you set a goal and you hold yourself rigidly to this goal, and at the same time you're taking score about how things are progressing, and your decision is that things are not progressing as you're wanting them to, then what happens is you're offering powerful energy in two contradictory directions, and it's hard on you. When you want something enough, it will almost override any belief. When you really, really, really want something, it's happening, and you can see the progress of it. But this workshop is about the art of allowing. This is about relaxing and allowing the well-being that is natural to you to flow. And that's the part that we believe that you very often forget about. You forget that you are worthy, blessed beings. You forget that well-being is supposed to flow to you. And we think that sometimes you actually have a question in your mind about whether you will receive what you're wanting to receive. And as we are moving forward here today, we would like to help you relieve yourself of the burden of that erroneous, irrational, incorrect belief. We want you to know that whatever it is that you desire is coming to you. You have witnessed, many of you, someone sitting in the hot seat and us saying to them, we really don't think we should go there. In other words, as they're wanting to vent about where they are, many times you hear us encouraging them to speak more positive words. And we are still powerful advocates of speaking more powerful words. But we are wanting to modify the expression, follow your bliss, to to something that is just a little more practical and user-friendly, which is, I will do my best to reach for the best feeling thought that I have access to. Because, think about it. If you reach for the best feeling thought that you have access to, and you consciously acknowledge that you are feeling the relief of that, and then you reach for the best feeling thought that you have access to, and you consciously acknowledge that you are feeling the relief of that, can you see that there is no place that you cannot go? And eventually, you'll be right out there in the sunshine and light with those who so much want you to be there. We notice sometimes that your friends, even though they mean well, are actually happier with you in depression than in anger. Even though anger is better for you. Because your anger is sometimes thrust at them. While your depression, you usually turn inward and you go away and leave them alone. So, as you make a decision that you're going to reach for the best feeling thought that you can find, now you're on the way. The best analogy that we have for that is, as Jerry and Esther were traveling between Phoenix and San Diego, about a 400-mile trip, at about the midway point is Yuma. So there they are on the freeway, on their way to San Diego. And at the point that they are in Yuma, they don't stop and have a nervous breakdown because they're not in San Diego. They just keep pointing in the direction of San Diego, and on they go. But sometimes we think the difference between your known traveling between Phoenix and San Diego is that it is a recognizable distance. It is something that you understand, and you can measure your progress along the way. And as you are measuring your progress along the way, it is absolutely believable that you're going to end up where you want to be. You don't make it as far as Yuma and then cry, oh no, we're in Yuma, and be so upset that you just turn around and go back to Phoenix. You don't just spin around in circles in your frustration in Yuma. You keep heading in the direction of what you are wanting. And that's the thing that we want you to feel here about this quantifiable distance between where you are and where you want to be. Let's say you are sick. Some disease has been diagnosed. So sick with this disease is where you are, and well and disease-free is where you want to be. Let's say that you are deeply in debt and everybody is hounding you for your money. So deeply in debt and in financial trouble is where you are, and debt-free and with lots of money is where you want to be. Let's say that your relationship has fallen apart, or that you haven't been able to find it to begin with, and that what you really want is a delicious, fabulous relationship. So you think in this science of deliberate creation that the distance is no money, more money. Sick body, well body. No lover, want lover. But what we want you to realize is that the distance is feel awful, feel good. The distance is not about the physical manifestation. Well, it is, and the physical manifestation will follow. But what you want to have your eye on, this measurable distance, in other words, the distance between Phoenix and San Diego is in your emotional range. So when you realize that you have strong depression and that you want to feel wonderful, and you find yourself consciously and deliberately in a very angry place, can you see that once you know what you're doing with these emotions, that you could say, I am really, really angry and I'm not in my joy, but I'm almost to Yuma? Can you see that now that you know what you're doing, that you won't be depressed, angry, depressed, angry, depressed, angry, depressed, angry, depressed, angry, depressed, angry? You can be depressed, angry, a little less angry, mad as hell and not going to take it anymore, frustrated out of your mind, irritated beyond belief, overwhelmed, aggravated, lightly frustrated, pessimistic, optimistic, in full belief and knowing well-being. And now you are aware of what your emotions are telling you. Now you'll always know which direction you're facing. You'll always know what direction you're going. Jerry and Esther have a Magellan navigational system in all of their vehicles. And Magellan is really interesting. There is an antenna on the top of their vehicles, and there are satellites out in the heavens, several of them, that are triangulating their position at all times. And then there's a computer in the vehicle that has the maps of this continent. So Jerry and Esther will say, this is where we would like to go. They choose the city, they choose the street. Magellan says, go this way. This is the distance, this is how many miles it is. Turn right, turn left. Take the next exit. When it is legal, make a U-turn. Magellan never says, where have you been? Magellan never says, how long have you been there? Magellan's sole responsibility is to ascertain where you are and give you the route to where you say you want to be. And your emotional guidance system is exactly the same. Your emotions tell you exactly where you are in relationship to where you want to be. Now, we know that you often think that where you want to be is with this lover. And we know that where you want to be is with this lover, but we also want to say to you that the reason that you want to be with this lover is because you believe you will feel wonderful when you are with this lover. There is nothing that you want, no material object, no amount of money, no circumstance or event. There is nothing that you want that is for any other reason than in the receiving of this thing that you want. You believe, and it is true, you will be in this joyful place of full connection to who you really are. Through the years, as we've been interacting with so many of you, most people along this vibrational spectrum weigh in at about overwhelmment. In other words, sometimes you are in depression, but it is rare when you are there. Sometimes you are in grief, but it is rare when you are there. Most of the time, you are somewhere in this aggravated, overwhelmed place. And so, most of the processes that we offer, like pivoting, take you easily to a better place. The Book of Positive Aspects takes you easily to another place. Most of the processes, in fact, every process that we've ever offered, is to assist you in releasing the resistance, which is the only reason that you're not all the way over here in this range of pure positive energy anyway. But so many of you are teachers of teachers of teachers of teachers. And you occasionally meet someone who, as much as you speak and as much as you know and as much as you believe, cannot find themselves moving to the joyful place that you wish for them because they have been beating the drum of a vibration that's just too big of a jump for them. You can get to anywhere that you want to be from wherever you are. There is no place that you are that is too far from where you want to be. There are no exceptions. And you just go there little by little by little. Now, don't lose sight of what the goal is. The goal is not to get from loverless to lover, or from penniless to plenty of money, or from disease to ease. You will get there. In other words, that, of course, is your objective. But the goal is to get from not feeling good to feeling good. The goal is to shift your emotions. You've got to get a feeling of what's over there before you can get over there. But what happens so often is that you feel like if conditions would change, then I will feel better. And we say, we know that you would feel better if conditions were different. But you've got to feel better to make conditions be different. You have to feel better to make conditions be different. A few years ago, this part of Texas was experiencing a very severe drought. And everyone was talking about the drought. And Esther was sitting on the porch and she was wanting rain. And she was literally trying to will it in. Rain, I want you, come to me now. No rain came. Rain, I've been really good. Come to me now. No rain came. Rain, if you do not come, we will suffer here. No rain came. And then Esther said, Abraham, how can we bring the rain? And we said, you must find the feeling of it raining. You must find that feeling place. You must feel like someone who is joyous because it's raining. Not like someone who is angry because it isn't, or not like someone who is desperate because it isn't.